Welcome everybody. This is our monthly at this point roasting deck list series for Yu-Gi-Oh and branded and all that fun stuff. It's 3 Albaz. Well, okay, so if like 50 card branded off the bat, I'm like, at least it's not 45. We did just see like a 46 card list top, so I mean it works. Branded, still branded. You do have 3 Albaz, 3 Shrouded Dragon, and 2 Cartesia, 2 Quem, 2 Mercurier, 1 Kit, 1 Tragedy, 3 Saronir. I do like the 3 Saronir. Saronir has just been nice. It is kind of a brick going first, but like most of the time if you like run good ratios of things like High Spirits and Opening, you should be just fine because those cards make it like full combo on top of like Quem and like Cartesia. I don't really have any complaints except for like, I mean, you have Book of Clips, Droplet. I'd say probably take out, I mean, I don't know. I'd just say find something better for Droplet, but I think that honestly those two work together fine, especially with the Clips allowing you to play through hand traps better, and like a 50 card build is kind of important because you don't have like the gas to play through hand traps as easily. Like having your board breakers like help you do that is pretty nice. 2 Guignol, 1 Boral, 1 Lad, 1 Lulu. Yeah, I mean, 2 Mirror Jade. Like you end up missing out on like a couple things, just like niche cases. Like, you know, for instance, in my, I mean, you aren't running the Super Poly, so like it's fine. You have the space for those, you know, things like a Quertus or like the Lulu or the Mirror Jade. You aren't running the Stapelia, but like I don't think it's like needed. But Stapelia does come up in like niche cases. Here's the branded Azamina list too. We will include on that. This is also his branded Azamina list. So 50 card list once again. 3 also EPA. Really like Lulu Wallowth. Yeah, do you use it and like do you actually like ever make it, or do you just like sending it mainly? I will also randomly remember you asking me which deck I thought was better last year. Do you link with 3 Chaos Space with 3 Magna or branded last year? Like no cap on God, branded was better. I love both decks equal. Really? Yeah, okay. Let's respect to my lovely branded. I was just saying in the mirror match, like which one would win. I think overall branded was a better deck probably, but of like which one would have a better time against each other. 3 Magnum out was annoying, but honestly if you knew your lines, like you had all the cards right to be able to play through a lot of them. But I don't know, sometimes just like when they have 3 Magnum, that's crazy to me. Magnum's so oppressive. 3 Diavel-Star, 1 Stellar, 1 Quam is fine, 2 Cartesia for sure. I even think you need a Tragedy. Or you are running a Lure, so fine. I was gonna say, but 3 Wanted, 1 High Spirits. I think that's fine overall because High Spirits and Wanted fight for the same kind of, you know, slot. Or, sorry, High Spirits and Allure fight for the same kind of slot. You're running 1 Deception of the Azamina and then the Sacred Azamina, so or Deception of the Sinful Spoils. So yeah, no, these cards help you go into obviously your fusions. You are running the Silvera and then the Pop, which is really nice for the, so this card basically functions as an Omni Negate for branded, which is really cool, so you can play around things like Ash if you end up starting with Diavel-Star, and plus they'll think they're on Snake Eye, so they're gonna end up stopping your Diavel-Star stuff. And then you can just go into your branded stuff really easily. Once again, we do see the Droplet. I think Droplet's really nice in this build though, because you obviously have you have the Azamina continuous, just like always floating around. So it's, you know, free real estate. I think that's like totally fine. It's kind of like White Forest. Then the extra deck, you are running the Lad 2 Mirror Jades and then 1 Proskenion. Why the Proskenion in here? And then you're running the Stapelia. Why the Stapelia in here? It's kind of interesting why you would run in here or not. And then board breaker package, Fuwalos. So yeah, that's the thing about your last list. If Fuwalos was on there, I would run it. I would just say purrely should be in there too. I think purrely is better than these Bestials personally. Mike Speedy got top 32 at the Shadow Duelist event. I tried. You did try, bro. You did try, Soldier. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. So branded blader, the branded blader deck list. Essentially, this is a Master Duel deck list with Buster Blader cards in it too, with branded, which is really cool. So you are running 2 of the Baby Whelp, and then 1 Tragedy. So for the Buster Blader cards, it's actually not that big. I mean, for the monsters, you are running 1 of the main deck Buster Bladers right there. And that's basically just an extra Buster Blader, but you are running a huge Buster Blader trap lineup. You are running all the basically quick play fusions on your opponent's turn in order to facilitate making the Buster Blader fusion, and also making the synchro, which is cool to see. Is the synchro something where you probably don't ever make it and you make the fusion a lot more often? I'm kind of curious about this. I hope he's still with us, because this is kind of real. I'd love to try out a build like this and just see where it goes. 60 card list, you'll love to see it. You'll love to see it. And I wonder if grass would ever be cool in here, because you could mill the Buster Blader cards, but I'm not sure if that's ever good to mill them, because you probably don't want to mill all of them. You don't want to mill your one or two ofs kind of thing. 3 Maxi, 3 Aluber, 2 Aluber because it's Master Duel, and then 3 Albaz, 1 Mercury, 1 Kit, 2 of the girls each, and then 1 Magma, 1 Saranir, and then the 3 Shrouded, 1 Lubellion, and 1 DD Vice King. Yeah, I'd still run the DD Vice King, even if you're running another engine. I think it's like, you know, like things like Puppet and DD Vice King, I think it's like usually still worth it personally. I know, like, and just in this kind of like meta. I didn't puppet lock back then, so like you're not dependent on Branded and Red, and D-Link, well, fair enough. And D-Link is not that good into removal if Branded goes first. Yeah, I guess if you don't gimmick lock them, you can, yeah. If you play a build that doesn't, you're on like Boral, you know, you're playing nice control and like playing a real, you know, technical grind game with D-Link, you could probably outgrind them. But I think the Magnuma at 3 would, like, seeing that every single game in a set would be really tough, in my opinion, alongside like another Bestial or two. And it's Branded, man. Branded is crazy. You can build it any which way too. Like, run the fucking Duality build and run fucking Yugioh and blow them out. So like this build I'd like to critique, but it's not really anything I can say like where did it go wrong in top 32, because I know like with Master Duel it's kind of one of those things where, like, you know, it can be kind of a die roll simulator sometimes, so like it's maybe not even the build, but like you're running the 2 evenly and then the 3 super poly and then plus the regained and 2 allure seems weird to me. I'd maybe like cut those entirely, honestly. I feel like those are kind of bricky, and you could draw a lot of like hands without the darks. And I don't think Whelp is dark. Maybe if Whelp's dark, it would be fine. And then you're running 3 of the Buster Bladers. Yeah, 1 Branded Sword, you love to see it. Shout out to Raoul, and then 1 Branded Retribution. Shout out to Yuri. And then 1 D-Barrier just for the 10 pie matchup. I'd actually run Blacko and then like maybe like a Grass in here, and that's my only suggestions. And then you were running, of course, the Buster Blader Fusion, because this thing completely kills Tenpai. I think this is actually a really smart meta call, the Buster Blader Branded build, because you're able to just, like, blow out Tenpai by making the Buster Blader Fusion on a consistent basis, like, through the trap cards. So I really do like the idea behind this deck. It's very smart and innovative, and I love it. And then 1 Stapelia, 1 Borreload, 1 Titanic-clad, 2 Albion the Branded Dragon, 2 Mirror Jade, 1 Lubellion, 1 Albalinatus, 1 Grand Guignol, and then 1 Rinbrum, 1 Sanctifier, and then 1 of the Synchros. So yeah, I recommend trying this out, guys. This is a really good answer for Tenpai, I think. Could be used in the TCG too. Top 32 in the Shadow Duelist event. He tried. All right, GZ1K, the man, the myth, the legend, the illustrious GZ1K. GZ1K, cracks knuckles. Let's get into this. Problem, I don't have money for Purrelios. Rest in peace. Shockingly enough, it's in my branded deck. I rarely made Stapelios, so I decided to try Lulu Lilith. Yeah, I mean, if the line doesn't come up, then I think it's like a very obvious thing to just cut then at that point. This has got to be one of my favorite lists I've saved. Oh god. When I hear you say that. Well, okay, I was gonna say, where are the rituals? I'm like, okay, there's the Dogmatica Albazoa, one of the coolest cards in the whole branded lore, honestly, but unfortunately we don't get to run it as a branded player. But GZ1K was like, not me. And we see the Golden Sword Soul in here. Shout out to Raoul again. He was talking about using this in branded. Honestly, it doesn't seem that bad. Okay, so the Bestial Alba system, or whatever the hell this is. Have you played games with this build? I have to ask. Like, that's my first question. Because, like, does this thing actually come up? Like, that's what I've always wondered. You're also running Adlib and Dramaturge, so I'm just gonna say off the bat, this build's doing a lot wrong and running a lot of bricks. You're also running the fleur-de-lis, which makes more sense in a dogmatica build, so I'll accept that. You're running 3 Lubellion because you're running more of a synchro build. At that point, I would run some links at that point, too, if you're not expecting to always resolve. There's 3 branded fusion in here. What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? Okay, so, like, we're gonna pretend there's only 1 branded fusion. You're running a single poly. Because fuck it, why not, right? You're somehow running through... So I think when you run this deck, you're like, I'm gonna either go Albazoa and rip this man's extra deck to death without the Alba system from the OCG that's out, you know, the last piece of the Albaz lore that we have to still get in the TCG. I feel like that'd make this build actually come together a lot more. That's what I said. I think the new branded card actually makes this kind of build come together, honestly. Because you can actually kind of bridge the engines together. Not really, but like, they both work towards a goal, right? And it makes the grind game a lot better. Dramaturge is goated. Dramaturge is terrible, but we can agree to disagree. I haven't played this since the list. Alright, so never ending. What to replace the branded fusions with? Or you already have Nadir's. High spirits, just 2 more high spirits. If you're ever looking for a specific branded fusion replacement, it's always just high spirits. If you aren't already running high spirits, it doesn't lock you. You can run it. I mean, maybe more Quem at that point, especially if you want to lean into the synchro engine and more bestials. You could always consider. I would say also the Dogmatica cards I would be a bit careful about, and then the big bestial dude, I don't think he's really needed, and you're already running a lot of bricks, so you kind of just have to be careful. Albaz the Ashen, I think, would not, you know, this is the hardest roasted list, but like, what are we doing here with these guys? Like, Tude's good, Beast is good, Regain's good, Despia Theater not so much. Blazing Branded King, it's like, I'm just saying, like, how are you going second with this build? That's my main complaint. There's like no non-engine, right? 54 card list. So this is Neverending's branded 54 card list. Shout out to Neverending in the chat with the deck list photo. We'll take it. 3 Luber, 3 Albaz, 2 Quem, 3 Cartesia, 3 Shrouded, 3 and then 2 Mercurier, 1 Tragedy, 1 Kit, 1 Lubellion, 3 Saronir, 1 Maximus. You'll love to see it. I think Maximus is an incredible call right now with playing through Molcharmy and Impulse very well. And the classic Ash Blossom. Yes, it's bad going second, but obviously it's like helps you extend through these hand traps, and they make for clean side out patterns in a game that's best of 3. So I think it's fine. And it's not unusable going second, so that's always something to consider. Branded Fusion, 3 opening, 3 deployment, 2 red, 1 white, 3 high spirits. I think high spirits is very important. Even in a build like 54 cards, you definitely can afford running 3. You're running the 3 Saronir, so yeah, I agree with that. 3 Nadir, 3 Eclipse, 3 Thrust, 1 Gold Sark, 1 Called By, 3 Allure of Darkness. No Foolish Burial, so I mean, that's fair. I'd say like you could just take it to the next level and add in 3 Desires, you know, 1 Grass, but like if you don't like that kind of play style, I think this is just fine. I would just try to probably get down to 50 maybe. Also going second, you might have issues not running like things like Super Poly or, you know, I think you will never win a game against Fiendsmith with this build going second. So I think you need Molcharmy or Super Poly for going second against like a Fiendsmith deck still, since they're still, you know, in the format. A good list. And then also the extra deck. 1 Mirror Jade, I appreciate that. 1 Garura, 1 Alba Lenatus, because it's great against the fire deck or against the dragon decks. You know, Centurion is in the meta. Then it completely just nukes that board of Quasars. And then 1 Borreload, 1 Stapelia. He is not running the Lad. I think Borreload Stapelia is almost as good as Lad in some scenarios against, you know, and Shifter. So I think like it's just fine to play that package. And then 2 Guignol because he is going to be puppet locking. And then Elix 60 card. Oh, we got the Duality go. He was saving the list for... He's saving this list, bro, for the roasting deck list. Wow, it's been a while since I've seen 3 Duality in a build. So this like straight up looks like my build that I brought to Nats, except I ran like a 50 card build or like a 46 card build in like 2023. So I had a lot less cards in it, but I definitely ran Super Poly and Dark Ruler, I think. I don't like that board breaker package overall. I think you could just like drop the Dark Rulers personally. But I don't know. You have Duality. Duality is cool. Duality gets you to Dragoon. It also can make Sanctifier for free, or like through Borreload and things like that. It also is a +1. I'm just like saying where you do have grass. Okay, at least you're running grass, and I think he did do well at his last OTS with this. I think he went like X1 as last OTS with it. Duality obviously being able to target a light and dark in the graveyard and being able to, you know, banish itself and then give you a draw. It's nice to mill that off. A grass looks greener, of course. And then Super Poly and Dark Ruler, like we mentioned, plus the Branded Banishment. I think Branded Banishment is kind of mid, in my opinion, but I could still appreciate, like, it's still not bad. And obviously it's one of those cards, it's an obvious side out, but you are already running 3 High Spirits, 3 Nadirs, 3 Duality, which are already traditionally going first cards. Like, Duality is there to play around hand traps with Dragoons, so I feel like it's kind of like when you're stacking those up with the Banishment, it's not like the best, and you're already running 2 Quem without even running Desires, so, you know, I would like run 1 Quem at that point because you're not running Desires, personally. And same with Brandon Red. I mean, like, not same with the Brandon Red, like I said, you have to be good with your grind game, so if you have faith in your grind game. Extract is standard except for the Dragoon. Dragoon's a good card because it helps basically play around hand traps and then put up a big body. It's also pretty good against Tenpai, especially under Shifter. They can't get over it, so it's pretty good. Was too broken, so that's probably a good reason why I had a good time into D-Link. I was also running 3 Magnamut, 3 Lubellion, 3 Starneer back then. I don't blame you for running 3 Magnamut back then. But also you were running the other build, right? You were running the European Special back when you guys didn't know the... Back when... It was so funny because me and Yuri would be like... We would see like the topping lists out of Europe. We were like... you guys would never run Puppet, and we were like, what? Like, it was... Like, I understand why. I think, like, you really didn't need Puppet up until Snake Eye, honestly. I think it was fine, though. I think it was, like, fine to run Puppet. Alright, so this is the Metagamesgx salad list. 3 Ash Blossom, 3 Effect Failure, 1 EMP Meow Mine. I have to ask, how have you been liking the EMP Meow Mine? I'm gonna have to... Oh, here it is. GZ1K with the picture. GZ, you are used against me. What was your U-Bell out, GZ? I'll go back to it. GZ1K also put my list in a graphic so you can skip mine. Okay, yeah, I completely did not see that. Here's the list. Yeah, no, I'd say overall, like, the Ghost Bells could definitely go for, like, better, more impactful hand traps. I just think it's not going to be doing much. It's kind of like half a hand trap right now. I think the Ghost Ogres are fine. I think Ghost Ogres are actually 100% just fine. I think Nib is fine without Impulse, too. I'd just, like, recommend, like, you know, if you could have Impulse or Charmy in that slot. If not, like, maybe like Droplets or Talents. The requested meta here is Slendermancer, my goated mod, his deck list, his Memento, his pure Memento, or no, his Fiendsmith Memento deck list right before he goes back to pure. So yeah, no, this is one of the big guy, one of the small big guy, and then 2 Engraver, bunch of Memento cards on top of a Lacrima Mommy, and 3 Ash Blossom, 3 Droll, 3 Veiler, more Memento cards, and then 1 Track, 2 Talents, more Memento cards, 3 Imperm, and then a Azarine statue to play with the Silhouette Rabbit in the extra deck alongside the IP Masquerena, Cross Sheep, and then the Fiendsmith package to help you extend and play, because you can obviously make the Aerial Eater, which helps you extend. You're also running one of the Goblin cards too, so remember that you can run the Goblin card because it goes into the Memento land Goblin since it is a Goblin monster, and it's a nice way to dodge Imperm too, which is pretty cool. Gotta go see if... Thanks for the roast. Peace out, EPA. Thanks for coming through. Nah, staying on Fiendsmith. Bricked Lust with it. Hell yeah. A lot better than Coldest Soul. It's an inherent summon rather than activated effects, says Metagamesgx. It's your boy bringing the Depresso Espresso to you. JK, how's the day going? It's going well, man. We love you, man. Sending love your way. Hope you're doing okay. If you have a deck list that we can roast, I'll be nice. Nice to see you, Long John. Thanks for coming through, my brother. My goated mod. So, yeah, no, we are side deck, 2 Phantasme, 2 Ogre, 1 dirty time card. No, JK, you have to do what you gotta do in this day and age. And especially with how time rules are, they are not perfect. So, I can never fault anyone for running a time card, honestly. And then 2 Dark Ruler, 3 Thrust. I love seeing Thrust in other decks besides Branded. I think Thrust is an incredible card, and it's just like, if you're running like 3 Dark Ruler, like why not just run like 3 Thrust and 1 Dark Ruler kind of thing? I mean, I guess like you would like to hard open the Dark Ruler, but this day and age, Dark Ruler always needs something paired with it. Usually. The Apothos for the Tenpai matchup. Off of the Soul Hat Rabbit, and then 2 Evenly. Very nice, very nice. Sunlight Wolf said that Magic Geek's salad list looks solid, so you also got a positive rating on your salad list from Sunlight Wolf. I would just say, you know, the Go spells are, you know, kind of mid. The Bell is just there because I have 2+ U-Bell players at locals, so it helps quite a lot. Why are you hitting, though, with Bell? I'm quite curious. Like, that's stopping them. Because U-Bell plays through infinite hand traps. Like, I assume a Bell is one of those that they could play through quite well. Red Resonator time card too, so Slendermancer, of course, I roasted you on it. Dolan Dragoon, let's go. What's up, Jam Buds VO? Nice to see you, nice to see you. Here's Sammy K's Memento list here. Oh wait, Scarlon's list, because she's the reason I started playing Branded, so this is just Scarlon's... Oh, so Scarlon top 32, that's cool. Another Memento list, like quite literally the same as Dom's, except they're running 3 of the Goblin card, which is interesting. And then 1 Prosperity. How do you feel about running 3 over 1 Slendermancer as the resident Memento in chief? Drawing Chaos Angel Tube. Or they are. My bad. And the access code talker, and then Dark and SP Little Knight, and then White Forest King, aka Long John Silver in the chat with the last deck list. Mermails, we do have the Mals. We love Mals in the chat. Squad, of course, we love Shadow Squad. Such a goated support card, custom. It's one of the most custom support cards I've ever seen for a deck. You are running the Megalo on top of 3 Teus, and then the standard, and then also Gun. How do you like the Teus, or how do you like the Gun on top of the Megalo? I know you did say before you like Megalo because obviously you I believe you don't side even the equip card, so I'm assuming it's just for OTKs. I feel like the deck OTK is enough, so I would personally, when you're not running the spell, I would personally like to cut that card, because you're never trying to discard 2 personally. I don't know. I just feel like the card's exceedingly mid in this day and age, but if I have yet to test it, so I might just be like talking out my ass on that. And then you are running the Armored Shark, and then 1 of the Virtue Stream, and then 3 Impulse, 3 Imperm, and then 3 of each of the Charmy, and then Ash. I like it. I would just like, I'd say like Mermail does really well at like 41 to 43 cards. Obviously 40 is also nice. It's just 45. It always feels like you can, like you need to open Neptibus. If you're not opening away to Neptibus, you are losing the game. So, like, I don't know. Or like, you know, Teus, essentially. So I think like closer to like getting that ratio to always opening 1 is like really important. I do like the 3 Minstrel though. 3 Minstrel is very important in my opinion. 3 Minstrel is basically your cross out, except it's engine since it's a water. That's kind of like the logic with purrely. That's why it's nice. Megalo is just a push to kill mid game. Also good to send off a gun later. Oh, that's true. That is a free body, huge body, and then it's a really good push. That's fair. It's a good grind game piece. I said what I said, has to use Griffin to summon their sequence. I'd brick if I played. I would also brick on the Gone Wild. I think it's replacing TCBoo, saying I'm Blacko. I love Blacko right now. Blacko, it's so good. It's like thrustable too, off it for the like matchups like Tenpai, which is really nice in my opinion. Bell can't play through Bell plus Baguska, fair enough. Even just a small interruption can help on occasion. It's not always great, but it's there just in case I need it for other matchups. Probably helps in the Branded mirrors, I'll give you that. And then in the side, or the extract, 2 of the Abyss or Bahamut Shark. Just one of the most custom pieces of support for any kind of, you know, attribute ever. You know, Bahamut just cheating out the 2 toads. One Abyss Dweller. I've been coming more around to the main deck Abyss Dweller because it's just like nice off of the Fuwalos to have a generic 4 you can make sometimes. One of the Kraken. I do like the Kraken too. It's very good for your shifter line, so I'm assuming that's your shifter line besides the Virtue Dragon, which can search the Virtue Stream. That's also something I'd worry about because you are running the Shark on top of the Virtue Stream. I feel like you could get a lot of hands of just like drawing a couple of those bricks, like, unfortunately. That's just what I would personally like adjust, but I think your build is just fine. It's also very utility. Like, you have a great grind game. Your grind game's insane with this kind of deck. One of the Gaios, one of the guy, and then this guy's crazy. This guy is the new Poseidra is just like a bounce 3 plus you get to revive 3 monsters. It's a free Trishula, which you aren't running, but you are running you know, a few different cards, which you're running the Ice Jade Azurine, which you aren't running the main deck one, which is interesting, but so you're just going to be syncing off of with a few of your monsters to make it, which is fair. And then Zealantis with the Coral. Very nice, very nice. And then in the side, you do have the 3 Droll. I can't tell what this is. Oh, 2 Area, because Area searches water. Also with the Spooky Dogwood, because that's searchable. And then you have 3 Final Bringer. How do you like the Final Bringer in Mermail? I was actually gonna ask you, like, or I was actually thinking of trying it out myself, and it wasn't able to myself yet. And then 3 evenly, 3 Typhon. Yeah, Typhoon is something I also saw crop up a little bit. It's pretty good. Might be better than Cosmic right now. All right, so and then we have this list, our last list. Live Evil Twin. It's Live Twin. It's Live Twin. No, so okay. Runic, Sprite, Evil Twin. Yeah. But this time it's 55 cards. Bro, might as well just put in the Desires in grass at that point. Come on. That's my critique. That's my critique. And the Drolls are hella random. You are running a huge... Just, like, fill out your deck with hand traps at that point if you're running that many hand traps so you could actually draw them. That's my suggestion. Retaliating Sea, Solemn, Griffin. It looks like a cool package. I'd just say fill out your deck or, like, you know, go to, like, a 40-card build. And you probably need to run this many, so just fill it out with hand traps. If you can run, like, Impulse. Or no, you probably can't run Impulse in this deck. Built it for the grind game. I'm not trying to really kill fast. The deck can kill fast as it is. The grind used to be cheeks until now. Bring her strong when they try hand trap. Yeah, that's what I was like trying to like say in my members group chat earlier. Like, the deck just kills so fast. Like, a lot of the time the grind game never happens. You either kill or you don't. But if you're playing the deck with more of a grind game in mind, I respect it. All right, guys. Any last questions? And also, thanks for watching the roasting deck list. If you want your deck list to be roasted, make sure to check out the streams. We stream almost every day here on YouTube and on Twitch. Check out the links down below. Make sure to leave a like on the video and comment down below what you guys thought of it. And we'll be seeing you guys next month for the next roasting deck list. And yeah.